Hi, this is Susan Winter from susanwinter.net. So, this video is the first in a series for you guys. First of all, I love men, I always have. And even though many of my articles were written for women or for a general audience, most of my private work is done with men. And the more that I work with men, the more I realize you guys need some help in some of your selection process and understanding the differences in a woman's mind and your mind so that it's not so confusing. So I thought it was time that we really have a discussion about, is she sane enough to date? There's a lot of conversations about women being crazy. I know. We think differently and we're emotional creatures. And whatever you feel as a guy, believe me, that same feeling is exponential in a woman. But how do you know if she's grounded enough and stable enough to date? I have one factor that I've isolated that I think, if you're aware of this, will do you a greater service than a dozen books that you read. The factor is this: reactivity. What I mean by that is, how reactive is this female in day-to-day life over events and situations? When you're first meeting a person, when you have the first few dates, when you're observing a woman that you like in public, the one thing I'd really like you to be attuned to is, how reactive is she? Meaning gets upset, creates drama, has an issue with, complains about, and is her reactivity equal to the offense? This is a barometer for healthy mental development and a good emotional core. See, women who are sane, grounded, healthy emotionally, we have our issues like everybody else. Stuff happens. And when it keeps expanding, sometimes we need to let off a little steam and we will air our complaints, or we'll be frustrated, or we'll have a meltdown. However, in self-actualized women that have done work on themselves, there's one patent difference. They take the emotional experience, process it, and then seek a solution. Women who are not sane enough at this point in their life for you to date are women that are constantly in the chaos. Now, this can be anything minimal that I'd like you to start looking so that you can start to see the factors. Somebody cut her off on the way to work today. Is this something she carries all throughout the day? Irritation with a coworker. Is that an ongoing discussion that never gets resolved? Anger with her boss. Problems with family members. Betrayal of a friend. We all have stuff that happens and it hurts us, but we work our way through it. Again, a healthy, grounded woman worth your time to date will be looking for a solution. A woman who is not stable enough to be sane enough for you to date will be in the chaos. So here's something else. The people that are not healthy emotionally and mentally for you, they don't know how to put things in perspective. Everything is personalized. They are somehow of the general mentality that life is here to harm them. So anything that happens, they take personally. The guy that cuts them off on the freeway, okay, it's irritating. It was selfish. It's not a power trip. I mean, I always think to myself, I have no idea. One, you could be an idiot. Two, your dog could be sick and you have to race to the vet. You need to get to the airport. You're missing a meeting that's going to be the next thing that's going to keep you able to pay for your mortgage. I don't know what's going on. Or you're an idiot. But it's not about me. People who are not very healthy think everything is about them. I'll give you a case in point. So I have a dear guy friend, and he's wealthy, he's great, and he's successful. He's a nice man. And he was dating a much younger woman a few years back. And, she had a phenomenal body, very young, feisty. I mean, I get it. I'm not against that, obviously. I mean, I'm a woman doing the same thing, so I get it. But here's an example that you should be aware of. So she has a headache, and he's taking care of her. She's lying down in his bedroom, and he decides to be a nice guy and make her some tea. So she comes storming out of the bedroom, chastising him, on him, attacking him, Evidently, the crime, the offense, was that he allowed the tea kettle to whistle a few seconds beyond her sensibility. She was certain he was doing that to hurt her, to upset her. Now, that was one case. I've got about 20 more in that relationship, all of them red flags. And you listening to this may think, oh, of course, I get that. But you know what? When you're in the middle of it, you don't see it. When you're that guy and your eyes are so attracted to something you see, and here's the rub for a guy. Part of the reason you get yourself in trouble and you date women that are imbalanced and not right for you, it's not your fault. Okay, I'm going to be the one woman that's actually going to say that to you, but here's why. When you were born male, you were biologically programmed to be on green light for sex. It's needed. Keeps our species alive. It's not your fault. And as a male, that animal part of your brain that's looking to mate is going to look for the finest specimen with which to continue our society. Get it? But don't let that aspect of being male stop you from having a great relationship because you're not looking at the other factors. When your eyes see a partner that you like, a woman worth your time, please look. How does she handle the waitstaff? How does she handle the valet? When she thinks you're not looking, is she impatient, irritated? Are people bothering her? Are people out to get her? You may think it's only those circumstances now, but if you date her, and I mean even if you have a one-night stand, you got no idea what you're in for. Because these people create disharmony wherever they are. They can't help it. They don't know how to handle their own power. And so in the moment that you meet a person like this, you think, well, you know, her ex was really a bad guy, or, oh, that neighbor sounds really problematic. But here's the truth. If you continue to see that person, in time, it's going to be you. You're the one who's wrong. You're the problem, and it's your fault. So check a woman's reactivity and make sure that she has a sense of calm and balance, and look for her to find resolution. Thanks a lot. Susan Winter for SusanWinter.net.